This is a slightly different video for you. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he gave me a little lesson. So this bad boy right here is a black walnut tree. Now, I'm familiar with them with the wood. You get some nice furniture, but that's what they drop. And what this is, you smash the husk, that's black walnut. And apparently, they're pretty good eats if you take the time to harvest them, clean them, dry them, and then shell them just like you would a regular walnut. So I grabbed a few. Figured, what the heck, let me give it a shot. Big warning on these, the black coloring is extremely potent and will dye almost anything it gets in contact with. So garbage clothes, gloves are required. I'm gonna see what I can do to get the nuts out of the husks with as minimal mess as possible. A few weeks elapsed from when I gathered these nuts to the time of recording, so they blackened further in that time frame. I rolled each nut into my shoe to break it up a bit, and peeled away what I could. I dropped each nut into a bucket of water to soak and loosen the remaining husk. Those are the husks, and yeah, good thing I was wearing gloves. Using a scrub brush, I cleaned each nut as best I could to remove the remainder of the husk. At this point, any nuts that floated were separated, as they are most likely bad. Okay, we got 21 that are pretty much clean. You can see their nice little ridged appearance here. Seen a lot of people use mesh bags and then hang them in their basements. I don't have a mesh bag, and I do have an old filter from the furnace, so I just kind of sat them on top of there so they've got some airflow around them, and I'll leave them in the furnace room where it does get a little toasty in the wintertime. I'll leave them here for now unless I'm told otherwise. After doing a bit of research on how others have shelled their black walnuts, I'm starting with a variety of tools: screwdrivers, channel lock pliers, and a paring knife to pick out the meat. I start by trying to split the nut along the center seam. I get it to split in half with more of a hammering action. Yes, I know I'm not using the screwdriver properly. Using the pliers as a nut cracker, I was able to eventually shell the rest of the nut. Warning, the pieces fly and they are sharp, so eye protection is highly recommended. I changed my technique to use a hammer and chisel, which are more suited to the splitting action I'm trying to achieve. After experimenting, I finally settled on the process of splitting the nut in half, then quartering it. I used gentle taps while holding the chisel and nut tightly in order to try to prevent the chisel from over-traveling and destroying the meat. I'm going to try and cut this one. You can hear the difference in the sound, so it's starting to crack. This technique allowed me to extract the nuts in larger chunks. Based on what I learned here, I'm thinking some sort of press with a chisel blade attached may be a good tool to split the nuts in a controlled fashion. The press will need a shield to catch the flying shell fragments. There we go. Get that off, and we get the last chunk. There we go. Well, that took a while, but I ended up with a big ol' pile of shells and a decent haul of nut meat. So I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. It's either going to be just a snack or maybe mix it into some cookies, but I probably have about 3/4 of a cup. If you've got a better method that you've used in the past and it has worked much more efficiently, please share that in the comments so that others can learn from that as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit as I did while making it, and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Until the next video, see you later.